All right, we are live. Hello, folks. Jeff Kozlowski here with another episode of the K Stream podcast. It's been a while. Just did an out of state move and took some time off to get the new home all set up and squared away. But feels good to be back close to the holiday season. In case you're new to K Stream, what I like to talk about and bring guests on to talk about is just people that are doing cool stuff in the live streaming world, the new tech that comes out around it, and like I said, any cool work people are doing to promote their business using live streaming. And as I mentioned, here we are, close to a huge time of year for streamers, particularly on Amazon, as we get close to Black Friday, Cyber Monday, big deal days, and tons, millions of shoppers online. So wanted to come on and talk a little bit about Amazon Live in particular, and look specifically at, as a consumer, a shopper, what to look out for when you're watching all of these influencers, and understanding, who is kind of like authentic versus, some things you might want to look out for, and to who better to bring on to discuss that than Monte Weaver. He is an Amazon Live streamer himself. He's going on almost 100 broadcasts, I think, if you haven't got there already. He's been on the show before to talk live streaming. And I know in addition to Amazon Live, he streams events and runs his YouTube channel. He's, I think of him as the tech guy. So Monty, can you introduce yourself for folks that don't know who you are?
Yeah, thanks, Jeff, for having me back for a second go around. I appreciate it. Yeah, my name is Monty Weaver. I'm a digital tech guy. I help the non-techies of the world figure it out. I talk your language because sometimes tech can get overwhelming. And so I put it in a language that you can understand. And I love showing real-time examples and actually showing you how it works. So it's excited to be back here and talk about the things that are going on now, especially when it comes to live streaming and everything that's going on with Amazon in these upcoming weeks that are going to be very exciting.
So yeah, what if last time we spoke, it was very much in the midst of the pandemic and everything was remote. Not a lot happening in the, I guess, in-person event space, but I think that's kind of starting to pick up a little more. So what have you been up to? I mean, what's taken up most of your time since the last time we talked?
Yeah, so the world is starting to open back up. So the event production side of the business has definitely been getting more phone calls again. And so been able to get back out and kind of use all this equipment that I show people about all the time. I actually get to put it into use myself. So I've been to Florida, I've been to Maryland, and so people bring me in to live stream their conferences. And so the majority of them want that hybrid experience now, right? Because people are used to watching virtual conferences, but now we're going back to in-person conferences, and they have no idea how to merge the two together
Yeah.
because it's one experience for in person, it's a different experience for virtual. And so some of the event production companies don't understand that virtual experience. And so being not only someone that produces these conferences but also being on the other end as a live streamer myself, I get to see all aspects of how it comes together. And so being able to get back out there and kind of meet people again and do these live stream events is something that has definitely been taking up some time again, and it's been awesome to kind of get back at it.
Yeah, and quickly before we jump into Amazon and the holiday season, what is it, you mentioned meshing the two together, a virtual and an in-person aspect. I mean, what's been kind of the key to making that work? I know it's like the folks that are attending virtually, who choose to attend virtually over in person, you want to give them either a unique or ideally as close as you can the same experience to the in-person event, right? And how have you been able to do that?
Yeah, so one of the things that I let the host know or whoever that the speakers know is that there's a group of people that are watching you online, especially if they've spoken in-person settings before because they're used to just talking to the room and getting that natural feedback from eye contact, from saying a question and the crowd responds, and even some of those unscripted moments where someone in the audience just has a question and the speaker is just real quick to give that answer because the people in the room can hear the question, but the people online, they have no idea what's going on in some of these cases. And so I feel it's very important to let the speakers know that, there are some technical things that you have to do to make the experience of the virtual attendee much better, because otherwise they're going to feel left out. And if they're paying for these tickets to access the information because they can't be there for whatever the reason, you don't want to make them feel neglected in any way. And then I also have liked the fact that we've been able to incorporate some of the attendees in the live setting. So we'll bring them in via Zoom so they can actually see the conference. Like they're actually looking at all the attendees in the room and everybody can hear them. So it's been pretty cool to leverage these different virtual components and bring that into a live setting where the speaker sometimes just forgets that there are just some technical things that you have to do to make it inclusive. And like you said, some of the breakout sessions are things that the virtual attendees can do where they can network amongst themselves versus just sitting there and waiting for everybody to come back off a lunch break. And they're just like, okay, what do I do here? But there are these different components that we can build in to help enhance that virtual experience.
Yeah, seems like it's an art in and of itself, but a lot of folks are figuring it out in some pretty cool ways. All right, so I want to jump into to Amazon here in a second, but a reminder: I see we have a few folks tuning in live. If you have any questions for Monte or myself, feel free to drop them in the comments. Jim, hello, thank you for joining us. Monte, so I mentioned at the top of the show, you've done nearly, I think last time we spoke, you said 97 Amazon Live broadcasts. Um, what exactly are you? What's kind of your focus on Amazon before we get into some of the influencer talk?
Yeah, so on Amazon, what I initially got on the platform for was because it was a new platform to go live. So leveraging live in any capacity has always been beneficial to me to get people to see who I am, what I do, showcase my skill sets. And so when I got on Amazon Live initially, it was to just show people how to use different products that I already own. And so now more so, I'm really looking at it through the eyes of someone that carries a lot of value in the marketplace, because a lot of people begin to show up on these live streams and they're really trying to figure out solutions for them. And so I have to make sure that I'm not just showing them things that I like. Now it's more so how do you use all these different, pieces of equipment that you might see, or what actually works best for you. Because on Amazon, it's very easy to just try to sell a product, but my audience is not there to just buy anything. They need what works for them. And so, you have to really make sure that you're explaining to people as much as you possibly can, while at the same time knowing that sales actually help you show up, because it's money, at the end of the day, and you're not showing up just for free all the time. But I really like to educate my viewers at the end of the day and make sure that if they see me on Amazon, that they're not just buying anything because it's on sale, but they're just buying something that they legitimately need to fix that area of pain that they might be in, especially when it comes to technology. They just don't know what to get, so I want to be that conduit for them.
Are you getting a lot of, and maybe it's a mix, or do you get a lot of folks that like are video production, like that's their their video producers or their videographers, or do you get a lot of, like, I could imagine um, a lot of folks looking to upgrade maybe their home office setup or their just like video conferencing setup at home would be interested in your channel? Do you know what do you get a lot of?
Yeah, so I'm very active in my chat and trying to see, what people want and what they need, and kind of it helps me understand them a little bit better. And the majority of the people on my Amazon lives seem to be people that are looking to upgrade from what they have. They have a little bit of information on some of the next level type of items they may want, or maybe they've seen it's in use somewhere else, and so they just want clarification on will it work for them, maybe some of the basics of how it works. So those are typically the people that show up, which is great because those are my core people. Those, they have my heart because I want to help explain to them, no, you don't need the fancy shiny camera because it might come with a couple extra components that you didn't account for because you just didn't know. So being able to kind of show them the entire landscape of a product and actually in use and what it takes has been one of those things that I think keeps having them come back because they can see different components of it and not just feel like, okay, I'm just going to buy this because I saw my friend have it and I think I need it too. And in actuality, sometimes they don't need that. It maybe it's something else that would work better for them.
Yes, I think that's how I was originally. How your channel kind of caught my eye, a while back now. But I think I was doing a search just, because I was just starting my podcast and I was looking into equipment, and like you said, you see all of the best podcasters out there using this equipment, and then you go to look up the price and you're like, oh my god, I'm not getting that. Like that's that's out of my price range. And then so you go on Amazon and you look around, and there you were on a page of um some piece of equipment I was looking into, and like that was exactly, I think the title of the stream was like live streaming tech. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is perfect. Like then I was hooked, on Amazon Live, and like just watching people who have, used this stuff, and like you said, used multiple versions of the same piece of equipment to give you the best recommendation based on your needs is awesome. Um, so here we are, as we stream this and record this for the podcast. We're at mid-November, and next week is going to be a big week for folks, not only shoppers but the folks on broadcasting on Amazon like yourself. So we've got Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all of that approaching. So for like, what is that time of year like for Amazon broadcasters like yourself?
Busy. So this will be my third year streaming during this time. I actually started first year I started was like a couple weeks before Black Friday and Cyber
Uh-huh.
Monday, where I was consistent. I started a little bit early, but my consistency started Black Friday, Cyber Monday, just prior to it. And so I've learned the landscape a little bit of, making sure that you get plenty of sleep ahead of time, making sure you have your beverages to keep your mouth wet so you can continue to talk. But it's a time where the influencers, we really get to talk to a lot of people. I mean, there are so many people on Amazon, and being able to, share with them products that are available, that are on sale, that are on discounts, it's really it's a time for consumers to see the products before they buy them now. Whereas we would just get things because we saw it and we just had to rely on the photos. We had to rely on the description. We had to rely on YouTube videos, right? But now the shoppers, they're in buying mode on the platform where they're actually going to buy the product. And so
Mhm.
when they can see it demonstrated, see what it really looks like, and have someone explain it to them, there's a lot of responsibility for us as an influencer to make sure that we're giving them the most accurate information. But it is definitely a busy season because there's so many people that are on the platform.
Yeah, I bet. And we got just a couple comments. Cheryl saying hello, Gina saying hi. Cheryl, you say Black Friday and Cyber Monday, yay. Are you saying that, is that from a shopper's perspective or a person who's broadcasting on Amazon Live? Um, and should I get a porta potty to put in my office area? I don't know about that. If you're an Amazon influencer, Monty, it sounds like that might be a good idea.
Yeah, that's Cheryl. I see, Cheryl and Gina and Jen that are watching live. So they're definitely Amazon Live influencers. So it's
Ah,
always
okay, okay.
it's always good to see them. And yeah, the porta potty
Yes.
thing, yeah, if you want to be close to it, because one thing about Amazon Live on Black Friday and Cyber Monday is you'll have a really good audience. And
Uh-huh.
so the last thing you want to do is stop the live stream because you'll have
Yeah.
literally so many people watching you. You don't want to stop live streaming if there's a lot of engagement, if there's a lot of people buying products, because otherwise you have to kind of start over again. And so having that engagement that's on there and active, you definitely want to try to keep it as long as possible.
And how long can you go on? Is there a difference on Black Friday versus other days, or how is it? Can you just stream all day long?
Yeah, you can just stream all day long. So as long
Wow.
as you don't have a solid, hard 5-minute break of inactivity, you can just
Uh-huh.
keep going. So if anybody is able and up for the challenge, hey, let me know. I would love to kind of pop in and out of the streams just to see, how long the 24-hour marathons, because yeah, uh, Amazon would be happy for you to keep customers on their platform for 24 hours, I'm sure.
Absolutely. That is a long time to be streaming. So like you said, I guess water and as Cheryl puts it, have a video you can pop up if you got to run to the bathroom. Um where was I going to go with that? I lost my train of thought. Oh, and I guess you better have your internet connection and your
Yeah.
equipment like tested and good to go, right? Because
Yeah.
obviously, if you don't want to, if you have a break in your internet connection, that ends your stream, and there go your viewers.
Yeah, you definitely hope to have good, stable weather. Like literally, there's doing some construction right up the street from me, and so I lost power 3 times yesterday. And I'm
Oh
supposed to
no.
do a live show. Um, a sponsored live show. And so it made it very difficult to kind of navigate those situations. But, you hope,
Yes.
all the tech does work for you and, you have your, lights plugged into the wall or charge or your microphone, same thing. To be able to go, especially if you plan to go for extended amounts of time. The last thing you want is to all of a sudden you just dropped out for whatever reason because you didn't check something that you could have verified ahead of time. So
Hmm.
definitely, putting those checks in place before you get started is essential.
So for viewers, what is important to look for when you're on Amazon on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and you want to get holiday gifts for your kids, or you want to get uh, some deals for yourself to up your setup or anything. I know there are streams on anything and everything. What do you kind of need to be aware of as a viewer when you're watching somebody rate and review products? I don't know if it's like, how do you know who's being authentic? And obviously, I know a lot of people on the platform, this is how they make a living. Like you said earlier, I mean, you make sales, and that's how you build your channel and get in front of more people. And I understand that, but is there something to look out for? Is there a way to tell, like, if someone isn't as authentic as maybe they're trying to come across?
Yeah, so I think for the viewers, they should understand that Amazon Live is a place for everyday people to come to the platform and talk about it. So we're not Amazon employees. So that's one
Hmm.
of the questions that we'll see a lot, or someone will make a comment as if we're employees of Amazon, which we're not. Now, Amazon does have one of their own channels where they have spokespeople that talk on behalf of Amazon's channel. But the majority, pretty much everybody else, we are influencers. And so essentially, we are qualified to be able to be on their platform. Now, Amazon is getting more restrictive of who they let on the platform. They're getting more restrictive of making sure that the platforms are the influencers are following all the guidelines and rules of the platform. So they're starting to begin to do some things on their side, which is good for the viewers. And, for the viewers watching, one of the things that they can do is just making sure that when they're engaging with the person that's speaking, that influencer. So there's a chat bar. So making sure that they ask the question, if there's something that they don't understand or if there's a potential red flag, they can ask the questions and see what that influencer says or how they respond. Maybe they want to see the product in a little bit closer and more detail. And if the influencer is not willing to do that, or, not willing
Mm,
to, research a little bit for them, maybe a little cause for them to go to a different influencer's page. So, you
mhm,
know, you kind of, and it's kind of one of those things that, you kind of have a gut feeling sometimes. You'll watch something and you're just like, why did they just keep saying add it to your cart, add it to your cart, add it to your
mm,
cart, where but they won't tell me any of the benefits of it. So, and the product could be a really good product. It's just the way it's presented. So you'll
yeah,
notice a lot of different styles being presented on Amazon. And so I think and if you've seen the same person show up a lot too, you really get to know because of their viewer base. Some of us have super fans that will show up. And so you kind of see the other chat
yeah.
where other people are like, "Oh my gosh, so glad you came back. Looking forward to today's stream." So you'll see this other engagement that will help you know whether or not this person is someone that is a pretty trustworthy source on the platform.
Yeah, and I like what you said earlier, not Amazon doesn't just let anybody do a live stream on the channel. Anybody can go leave a review, they can leave a video review, you can post a product review video, but the people that are doing the live streams have at least made it through some sort of process that showed Amazon at some point, like, okay, these people deserve to have a channel on here, and are legitimate enough to broadcast, right?
Yeah, and then one of the other things you can see too, if the stream is sponsored by a company, because if the stream is sponsored by a company, there's a good likelihood that that company has put their trust in that influencer as well, and so there is a relationship between the influencer and that company to make sure that they're presenting the product in a correct manner because they're representing that company as well. So seeing a sponsored stream is also one of those things to take note of because it adds that extra layer of credibility that you know e- the product is a pretty good product, and that the person presenting that product is someone that they find credible as well because they've had to have some type of vetting on their end too.
Right. And I like what Jim says. Yeah, we never tell people to add something to their cart. We like to answer questions and demo things, and that's, I think, obviously the most, like you said, that's what people are there. People are there to see demonstrations, options, um, stuff like that. And I have to ask, somebody who's a tech guru, any new equipment you're really loving this year, and any like sneak peek to the Black Friday
I
stream?
do have a sneak peek. I'm not sure if you're able to
Oh,
let me go widescreen real quick,
oh, yeah, yeah.
but
Let me get myself out of here.
I
Uh-oh.
do have some equipment sitting right over there from
Uh-huh.
one of my favorite audio companies. So they've sent me over about, was that 6 different items there? So I'll be showing those off on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. There's some really good deals on those. So excited to do some unboxing. I'm actually going to probably unbox a couple on Amazon Live tonight. So, but I will definitely talk about their products. Super excited to work with them and talk about audio, some headphone equipment. So anybody that's interested in some of the newer microphones, and headphones, I'll be showing those off in real time too. So that's always fun.
Are you being like inundated this time of year? Like, especially as someone who's been on the platform for a long time, do you get like, how much stuff do you have in that room right now from
Oh,
Amazon, or from companies that want you to talk about their product?
oh my gosh. I have had this, I've said no so many times. It's the easiest sentence for me to say this time of year
Okay.
because yeah, I've had so many emails. I literally had 3 emails today from different sellers that want me to feature their product, and I like this personally stay in the digital techie space, just because that's my core business is in that space too, so it's just in my wheelhouse. And so but I get you know toy trucks and all kinds of stuff. And so, like we talked a little bit earlier, expecting baby girl on the way. And I don't think she's quite ready for a toy truck, but I do get a lot of requests to talk about a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And yeah, even in this space right now, it's filled up so much. Like off to the side here, I have iPhone cases, iPad cases, and then behind me, I literally have a box on the floor. The back of this chair you see was sent to me. I've got stuff up off the corner that's sent to me up there. So
See.
I have so many different things around me. That drone that's on the shelf was sent to me. That camera right above it was sent to me. I've got, I don't know what's up there. Security camera. There, the truck is right there, Jeff. The truck is right there. All kinds of stuff that has been sent over. So, yeah, this the time of year where companies will definitely reach out because they know so many people are going to be on the platform. They're going to be shopping, and so if they can get their product in front of more eyeballs, it's going to be a lot easier because they don't have to worry about ranking an SEO and hoping someone finds their product. They're literally going to have an influencer showing it to so many people in real time. This is how it works. This is how it doesn't work. This is what it looks like in the box. When you take it out, you might need batteries. And so
Hmm.
this is the prime season for sellers and companies to get their products in front of a live viewing audience because that's how a lot of us make our purchasing decisions. We see that commercial comes across, all of a sudden we got hungry. Now it's like, okay, if that commercial didn't show up, I would have been just fine. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely a busy season.
And what is it? What is the difference in viewership? You don't expect you to go into like specific numbers, but like on a typical Amazon Live for you, not around holiday season, compared to then holiday season rolls around. I mean, I'm sure, just given the sheer amount of people that go to the platform, I would imagine there's a huge jump.
Yeah, yeah. So it's going to be interesting because I don't know what to expect this year for a couple different
Okay.
reasons. One, the Amazon Live platform is getting more attention, so more people are beginning to know that it's even a thing. Um, Two, they recently just changed the layout. So it used to be a lot easier to kind of see live streams that were all together in one time, but they changed the whole entire layout. So that's going to be interesting because Amazon has been doing some things on their end. And I'm also now an A-list live streamer, so I get more visibility than what I did last year. And
Mm.
so, when it comes to kind of some numbers people can kind of think about, last year I was averaging around like 70 to 100 people on a live stream for a couple hours at a time, where I can easily see that number doubled this year. We also have more live streamers on the platform now, so that's going to be another thing to consider
Yeah.
too, where there was a lot less streamers that were on there. So we have like a friendly competition among live streamers, I say, because we have a whole group of people that live stream, and so we're always trying to help each other out. But the reality is, there's going to be so many other people competing for the same spaces on the Amazon platform. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the numbers look like this year. But definitely overall, as a whole, I know so many people are going to benefit if they're an influencer, just because of the sheer amount of people that are bringing more attention to the platform.
And now on the flip side, you mentioned I know you have a Facebook group where, like you said, all, a bunch of Amazon influencers come together and you guys like to help each other out, help each other improve. Um, Cheryl referenced here, in reference, to the trucks, the remote control trucks. She adds batteries to the carousel so they can get those along with the product and be ready to go. I mean, what's like some for the influencers out there looking maybe they're doing their first broadcast during the holiday season. That seems like any kind of like strategy tips, but things like that, because it's interesting. I remember when I first started the podcast and I was thinking about making, trying to do enough to get on Amazon Live, and I thought, well, the topic of my podcast doesn't really lend itself to Amazon. But then I started seeing people on the platform that were just kind of like hanging out during the day, doing some work, and they would hop on the platform and they would start broadcasting because they have this cool desk setup. and they just say, oh, I'm here answering questions for the day. I've got this, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll just be here working. And they get questions about their desk or their chair or their microphone or their headphones that they're wearing. So you can really, there's interesting ways to find products that you can speak well to, I think, right, into your stream. So anything you can touch on there for influencers who are watching.
Yeah, so if you're gonna stream during this time of year, definitely focus on talking about products and having them readily available. Amazon is they're they're making some changes to the live
Mm,
aspect of the platform because it was kind of really the wild west, and just like any new platform, you kind of learning the ropes. What should we allow influencers to do? What should we not allow influencers to do? And sometimes we as influencers we have some opinions that we hope can get up to their level, for them to implement to make it easier for us, more of an enjoyable experience. But if you're just getting started on the platform, I would really focus on the things that you have that you know. And ideally, if there's things that you may have bought on Amazon during a deal, like the first thing I think of are like headphones that I bought during Black Friday a couple years ago, because I'm highly I'm confident that those are going to be on sale in some capacity again because they're routinely on sale. So, just having products close by that you can talk about, and showcase so that people can actually see it, because you want to benefit the viewer too. It's going to be a time for you to really get in front of a lot of people. So if you have a business outside of, showing products on Amazon, you definitely can figure out a way to incorporate that into what you're doing. And the reason I say that is because, there are brands and companies that I work with outside of Amazon Live, but they found me on Amazon. And
hmm
so Amazon Live is just a part of what I do, because my main business is not showing up on Amazon. But it's a great benefit to show up. But these companies, we collaborate on projects that definitely help my core business grow. And so building these relationships with not only your viewers, but potential brands, can definitely be a benefit to you, because they'll be there when watching too.
Yeah, and you mentioned that Amazon is doing some things to they're making some kind of they've been making tweaks to the live streaming platform in general. Can you speak a little bit to some of those? I see Christoph is joining us, and he says you can't answer questions anymore on Amazon Live. It needs to be active now, and I'm not sure. As someone who's not on the platform myself, I'm not maybe I don't know if I'm reading into that one correctly or not. But can you speak to
Yeah.
maybe that and some of the other changes?
Yeah, so Amazon really wants you to be more focused on the product, like talking about products, showing products. They
Hmm.
really want to embrace more of like how we're used to seeing a QVC HSN, where you're talking about the products, the
Yes.
benefits of the products. And so you definitely just have to make sure that you're reading the guidelines. I know that nobody likes to read all the guidelines and when they're updated, but you have to read them and go through them, because a lot of the questions that I typically see that are posted in our community are already answered in the guidelines. They pretty much tell us the answers, and so they're there, unfortunately. And like what Chris said, for better or for worse, but it is Amazon, and so I'm personally don't care what the rules are. I'm just thankful that they created a platform that allows me
Hmm.
to go live, because it has really truly helped my core business growing an audience on this platform that just a couple years ago it didn't offer me the benefits to just show up and talk about things that I love. I already talk about tech on other platforms, but this is just one more platform. And so if it's a few rules they change, I'm fine with that. Compensation on top of that makes it better. But these
Hmm.
relationships that I'm really being able to foster on Amazon and bring them back to my core business has really been a game changer for me this past year.
And so what I was saying earlier when several months ago when I was watching that person kind of just hanging out and was live just kind of showing off their setup and you mentioned earlier like 5 minutes of inactivity will turn the well that'll cut the stream off, right? So you couldn't just do that anymore, right? You have to be active, presenting, talking about product.
Yeah, they don't want that stagnant black
Yeah,
screen, not showing anything, not talking about
makes sense.
products. Yeah, so because of the viewer experience. So that's one thing that they are, more focused on is how does the viewer stay on the platform and, not making sure that they're just not going to be sitting there not doing
Yeah,
anything because, my background is in IT, so I know what it means to have, terabytes of data. You're saving data of irrelevant information, like it's just there. So, they don't want um, any inactivity, staleness on the platform because they want that user experience to be at a higher level at this point.
okay, and I think we're going to be wrapping it up here soon. Monty, before we go, those interested, new Amazon influencers out there, or those that are looking into getting on the platform, or people want to be a better streamer in general, you have some courses, and you run the Facebook group. You want to talk a little bit about where people can find you?
Yeah, definitely check out our Facebook community, Amazon Live Creators. So we have, I think, over 1,200 people in that group. We
Wow.
have influencers. We have people trying to figure out what Amazon Live is. We have companies and brands that are looking to collaborate all the time. So it's a great place to pop in there. We typically meet once a week. Now, I won't be meeting in the month of December, but we typically meet once a week. And it's kind of one of those things that's it's free to show up and kind of network with other influencers, talk about things. And so I wish more people would actually take advantage of it because we get a lot of questions that we have answered like a million times over, and we just show up on Fridays and kind of get it done in one quick sweep. So it's a free open group community, and then I'm also posting content on YouTube. So just my name, Monty Weaver, on YouTube, and you can find out some more about Amazon Live there as well.
And will you be live all day Black Friday and Cyber Monday? Where can we look out for you all day on those days?
Yeah. So MontyWeaver.live will take you right to my Amazon page. So depending on how much turkey I eat, it will depend on how long I go live.
Uh-huh.
So I do plan on going live quite lengthy on Black Friday and Cyber Monday because there are some really good deals that are coming up. So those will be the two prime days that are beneficial to me to show up live and to also to fulfill some obligations with the one company that has sent me a whole bunch of products to talk about. So that's the other reason I have to go live on those days.
Gotcha. Well, best of luck in all that, and of course, best of luck becoming, all the best wishes becoming a new dad. That's exciting, and I'm sure you'll, that time away will be well deserved. And Cheryl, thank you for dropping the link. I saw Cheryl drop the link to that creators group, creators Facebook group. Thanks for throwing that in there. And Monty, once again, thank you for the time. It was a pleasure having you on for the second time.
I appreciate it. Yeah, two times, and then we'll have to follow up and see how the holiday season went, and then I'll get
Yes,
to say congratulations again to you.
that's right.
Next year, beginning next year. So yeah, we have to do a meet up again.
There we go. There we go. Maybe by that time we'll be broadcasting different products. We'll
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
maybe those RC cars will be relevant.
yeah. I'll have to send it over to you.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for those that tuned in live and for those that listen to the podcast. Appreciate it. Monty, take care.
Thank you.